Do you ever feel as though you could have a dark side? Are there aspects of you that you'd want to keep private? These are widespread emotions, and they could be somewhat accurate. Some specialists even think there's a method to access this dark side to enhance growth and self-awareness. It's known as shadow work because it focuses on the hidden aspects of your personality. You can do it during treatment and occasionally on your own. Working with your unconscious mind to discover the aspects of yourself that you suppress and keep hidden from yourself is known as shadow work. Trauma or parts of your personality that you unconsciously find unattractive might fall under this category. Before diving deeper into this video, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification button to get notified when I post a new video. What exactly is shadow work? Shadow work is a technique used to reveal the parts of ourselves that our subconscious has been holding back. The term shadows refers to these hidden elements of who we are. We're whole, integrated human beings when we are born on this planet. We were fully accepting of who we were. The main goal of shadow work is to increase self-awareness, which leads to self-acceptance and compassion. You may perceive the many aspects of yourself through shadow work, which is frequently both therapeutic and more spiritual in nature. Shadow work is about admitting the presence of shadows and being inquisitive about studying them for those who have been particularly successful at ignoring their shadow. Perhaps because it differs too much from your own self-perception or preferred image. Our acceptance of ourselves was just momentary. We quickly learned which portions of ourselves were accepted and which were not by our parents and other influential people in our life. We experience emotional sorrow because of the qualities of ourselves that were rejected. These characteristics, according to our ego, were inconsistent with how we saw ourselves. Thus, we disregard these characteristics. When we repress them, they evolve into our shadows. Carl Jung, a psychoanalyst, is credited with creating the idea. The things that individuals repress or don't want to accept being referred to as the shadow self by Jung. According to his theory, it serves as a balance to the persona, or the version of oneself that's displayed to others. Although the shadow self might harbor bad impulses like resentment and hatred, Jung thought it also had the capacity to harbor constructive impulses like creativity. He believed that a person's perception of the outside world and their interpersonal interactions depend on their shadow selves. He also believed that through interacting with one's shadow self, a person may better understand oneself and achieve harmony. The idea of the shadow self, which has roots in Jungian psychology, serves as the foundation for shadow work. According to Jung, a person's personality consists of both their public persona or persona and their secret or hidden self or shadow self. Contrary to the persona, the shadow self frequently possesses qualities that the individual would prefer not to display. The shadow, in contrast, was not seen by Jung as a demeaning or embarrassing aspect of a person's nature. That was crucial to his understanding of their psychology. Assimilation of the ego and the shadow is the main objective of shadow work, which teaches individuals how to control urges they often suppress, such as wrath or greed. How the shadow self forms. Every person has a shadow self, a part of themselves that has been rejected and repressed to the point where they're no longer aware of it. Even if our shadow selves are repressed, they nonetheless have an influence in our attitudes, emotions, and actions. Using techniques to expose our shadows and shed awareness on them is known as shadow work. While we're young, our survival depends on our parents or other primary caretakers. We thus develop strong attachments to them and their way of life. Thus, if a caregiver corrects you for being blunt, there's a potential that, even as an adult, you won't feel comfortable speaking your opinion from that point on. In this case, you can find it upsetting to witness other people's expressing their truth if one of your shadows is nearby. You may experience unexplained sentiments of rage and resentment if someone is assertive around you because you have been taught that speaking out is not a safe behavior for you to engage in. Projecting is one method for identifying your shadow. We cast our shadows onto other individuals even when we're not aware of them. Consider the scenario when you see someone and notice that they trigger you. You begin to acquire opinions about them, believing that they're rude or too pushy. These same attributes are present in you, if possible to a lesser extent, which is why you were activated. They make up your shadow. Benefits of shadow work. 1. Self-acceptance. When you suppress your shadow, you may overcome any subconscious self-hatred you may be experiencing. But you can only achieve this if you truly accept that aspect of your personality and engage in self-awareness exercises. Embracing your shadow entails being compassionate toward all facets of who you are. It won't always come naturally and without effort. Yet, getting started with shadow work gives you the opportunity to get there. 2. Boosts your self-esteem and confidence. When you present as your entire self, shadow and all, you may do it with more assurance. No longer do you have any secret self-doubt about aspects of yourself that you might hate or even despise. As a result, you may go on with greater assurance and accomplish your objectives. Our shadow characteristics are often important aspects of our personalities, but if they are flaws, you're better equipped to deal with them. When you acknowledge them so that you can comprehend and perhaps better control them, the times when we're least conscious of our shadow are the most difficult. 3. Enhance your capacity for empathy for others. As you connect with people, projection is lessened because of shadow work. The personality characteristics and eccentricities of other individuals are less likely to set you off. This can therefore make you more sympathetic to other people. You no longer perceive the negative aspects of yourself in others. Instead, you should consider them as whole individuals who probably have their own struggles to overcome. 4. Strengthen your connections with others. You can only completely love and accept people until you have learned to love and accept yourself. You can see people for who they truly are when you can control your projections about them. They're no longer reflections of the aspect of you that you despise. You can thus develop closer relationships with them as a consequence. 5. Boost your general well-being. There are several issues that might arise if you suppress your shadow. Until you're prepared to face that darkness, you might not even be aware that the source of these issues is a part of you that you've suppressed. By beginning at the source, shadow work can assist you in taking charge of your road toward healing. Shadow work deals with their underlying causes rather than particular wellness concerns like anxiety or dysfunctional relationships. Ways to practice shadow work. 1. Dream analysis. Jung placed great emphasis on dreams as a means of gaining access to the unconscious and the shadow self. A person can keep a dream journal and search for recurring themes or symbols to see if they detect mental processes that they otherwise would not. Another option is to consult a Jungian analyst for advice. 2. Journaling. By examining patterns and themes in their writing, a person might use journaling to investigate their unconscious wants and ideas. A person can participate in free association, narrate stories, follow directions, or follow prompts. 3. Meditation. If you sit in meditation for a long enough period of time, you will undoubtedly learn a lot about yourself, some of which may not be nice. One can refer to this as the shadow self. One of meditation's main advantages is that it helps you connect with your subconscious by calming your conscious mind. 4. Inner child work. The goal of inner child work is to represent ourselves in order to meet our unmet needs. We may better understand our habits, triggers, goals, and needs through self-discovery. When we start inner child healing therapy, we access a sensitive, impressionable aspect of ourselves. It's also important to keep in mind that shadow work is simply one method for investigating traits that one may view as shameful or unpleasant. You may pull your shadow sides out of the depths of your subconscious mind and into the light of consciousness by facing your shadow without condemnation and learning from its beneficial qualities. You develop into a more complete individual, one that had accepted all flaws, and you strive to become the best version of yourself.